Alright guys, we're back with part 2 of ranking DC movies and shows, live action, and animation. Now we are getting near some great animated movies and shows, but we did previously leave off with Green Lantern, which I put it in bad, unfortunately. Now we have Watchmen. Yeah, Watchmen is another S tier movie for me. I'm actually going to put it right in front of Superman 2 as well. But I will say, as much as I love Man of Steel, as much as I love Zack Snyder's Justice League and Batman vs. Superman, there's an argument to be made. Objectively, Watchmen might be Snyder's best project he has literally ever made. This is the Lego Batman movie. I've only seen it once, but when the one time I did watch it, it was great. It was a lot of fun, and in this movie, I'm pretty sure it is Will Arnett voicing Batman. He has such a good Batman voice. It is a great movie from beginning to end. And it's not just fun for kids, it is fun for adults too. Now you got the Watchmen show, and I'm actually gonna put that in good. This is a show that I was hoping was going to last more than one season. Maybe if it did last longer, we could move it up into a great. I think there's an argument to be made. Maybe it's mediocre, but for now, I'll put it in good. Steel. We're gonna have to shove this crap in terrible. This movie is so low budget and so low quality. It almost looks like a parody adult film. And I mean, Ray J's in this movie, so he knows all about that type of stuff. It almost feels like this movie was made to just be parody in the first place. It wasn't ever meant to actually take the character seriously in any way. Catwoman. This is another terrible movie. We're going to put it in F. We could go down the rabbit hole of why the movie is just outright horrendous, but why would we do that to ourselves? Jonah Hex. I watched this movie maybe in my early teens. I haven't seen it since, but when I did watch it, I do remember how bad it was, and that is why we're gonna put it in bad. I think the least I can do here is maybe put it ahead of Batman Forever. I think that's fair. V for Vendetta. Yeah, we're shoving this movie right in S. This movie is so damn good. The mask he wears, it's the symbol for revolution. It's a government's downfall. It is a complete classic through and through. All right, are you guys ready for this one? Okay, here we go. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, S. Batman Under the Red Hood, S. Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Part 1, S. Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, S. You like that? I know we still have more movies and shows to go off on here, but Batman Under the Red Hood might be my favorite animated Batman movie of all time. It is so entertaining, it's so thrilling, completely suspenseful. I love that movie. Then The Dark Knight Returns, you really can't go wrong. The fight against the mutant Superman, his last brawl with the Joker, it's awesome. You know what? Flashpoint, it's either an S or an A, and I'm gonna just go with S. It's so good. Not even the movie, but the comic book as well. The entire story is brilliant. This is how you tell a multiversal story. This is how you write a story about screwing up timelines. You guys ready for another really easy 3? All right, cool. S. And this is coming from someone who didn't really like Batman Beyond when growing up. If it wasn't Batman Bruce Wayne, I wanted no part of it. I didn't want that. When I got a little bit older though, like maybe 14, 15, and I revisited these projects, oh yeah, give me all the Batman Beyond I can have. It is an absolute damn shame we didn't get that Batman Beyond animated series in the way of the Spider-Verse movies. It is just heartbreaking. Batman Beyond deserves so much better. He's one of the coolest characters DC has ever come up with. That is an easy S placement. Are you guys ready for more easy placements? Because I am. So we're gonna do S. Oh yeah, what's that? S. Oh, okay, cool. Let's go. Yeah, S. Oh, what's this? S. Oh yeah, you like that? S. Wow, that was easy. Paul Dini and Bruce Timm back then never disappointed me. These shows are so brilliant. This is the epitome of DC right here. If someone said to me, hey, you know what, Tyrell? The only animated cartoons you're ever going to be able to watch ever again are these cartoons here. Batman animated series, Superman animated series, Justice League animated series, I'd laugh. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to try and reorganize the S position here. Some of these shows and movies are just so damn good. I don't really know if I could find the perfect spot within the S tier. I'll keep trying to do it for the rest of the tiers, but the S, if you're an S, you're an S. There's no complaining. So I'm gonna give you another two more. Batman 2005 S and Teen Titans S. Some of the easiest decisions I'm making in my life right here. This Batman show, which is not trying to specifically compete with Batman the Animated Series, but it's trying to stand on its own 2 feet. We are different than Batman the Animated Series, but you guys loved that show so much. Hopefully you can like this new modern age version of it. And yeah, it stands up. I actually had to input the Batman 2005 animated series photo in here because it wasn't in this list. Whoever made this actually forgot about it. I wasn't gonna let that go. And you know what? If we did Teen Titans here, I actually right now just input it, the Teen Titans Go show. We have to put it in this list. It wasn't here, so I threw it in. For Teen Titans Go, this ends the S streak here. We're gonna have to throw this in mediocre. Teen Titans Go is specifically made for kids. I've seen a couple episodes of them. Some things are funny, some things are interesting, but yes, if you're someone in your 20s, 30s, 40s, this show is just not for you. It is a shame that they decided to go away from the original show and to make this. Now there's Young Justice, and I'm actually going to throw that in great. Now, here's the reason for this. I have only seen the first 2 seasons. I have not gotten around to watching the last 2 seasons or wherever the show is today. Maybe I've even seen 3 seasons. See, it's a little muddy. However, why it's not in S is because even though I really like it, it does not have that particular pull a lot of the other cartoons in S has for me. Next is the Harley Quinn animated show. I'm also going to throw this in mediocre. Now, trying to gauge where I'd place this here, I think I would actually put it at the very top of mediocre. And my reason for this is because, once again, 50-50, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things. I think what keeps me away from the show is how obnoxious it is. It gets way too much. It's too loud. It's too hectic. Some things are really just stupid to the point where I'm not really enjoying it. Because it's a cartoon and because it's more of an adult cartoon, I give it more of a pass for it to be able to get away with a lot of those things that even I might not really enjoy. I watched the entire first season. I enjoyed it for the most part, and then I watched about halfway through the second season, but unfortunately it just couldn't keep me invested. My Adventures with Superman, unfortunately I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it. Black Lightning, unfortunately, that is another one. I haven't seen it, can't comment on it. CW Arrow, guys. That's what's up next. CW Arrow. This is tough because I'm battling right now between mediocre and bad. No, you know what? I got it. You know what, guys? We're gonna have to put it in bad. We're gonna have to. I will put Arrow at the front of bad. Seasons 1 and 2 are really good. Season 3 ruined the entire show for me. Ever since season 4, I think I watched the first 6 episodes. It became a huge pile of crap and I could not watch it any further. The biggest problem with a lot of these CW shows is you're going to get the CW vibe, which is teenage drama. You're also going to get cheap ass CW suits, and terrible CW writing and dialogue. Also, too, it's not the perfect representation of Green Arrow. And I always say on this channel, I'm one for always trying something new and different with these characters, but there were way too many times where I couldn't tell the difference between him and Batman, so that's not good. Legends of Tomorrow, I don't know why I did it, but I watched the first season, and this is just another bad. And I think I'm just gonna shove this right in front of Superman 3. Supergirl, it's another one of those shows I never watched, but I've seen enough online to see how bad it is. Now, if you're maybe someone who watched the show in its entirety, or maybe just more than me, you might even say it's terrible. But because of that, I'm going to just place it in bad for now. And I am, once again, just going to throw it in front of Superman 3. Batwoman. Yeah, this is something that was terrible. We're not even going to get into this, but Batwoman was god-awful. And no, I would never have put myself through watching that thing in its entirety. Never. The Flash, I'm going to throw in front of Suicide Squad here. Both Arrow and The Flash have so many seasons. There's bound to be something within these shows that's enjoyable, but once again, the biggest problem, like any CW show, it suffers from what I said about Green Arrow, and also too the fact that seasons 1 and 2 are the only good seasons, and then from season 3 onward it just has this huge downfall. Doom Patrol, I never watched, so that's gonna go in haven't seen. Constantine the show is something else I never watched. I'm not very interested in Constantine as a character, so that's why. Oh, Titans, the live action show. Before I place it, here's what I'm gonna say. This is how I feel about Titans. Season 1 is solid, like a 7, 7.5 out of 10. Season 2, the first half is like an 8 or a 9. The second half is like a 4 or 5. Season 3, again, it's like a 5. And then season 4, again, a 5. It suffers from some absolute horse dung writing. But just like Black Adam, I don't know why, there was something about the Titans show that was almost a guilty pleasure of mine. Should this show go down in bad? Yep. Should it go in terrible? I don't know. Some people might, though. I'm gonna put it in mediocre because, like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. I enjoyed watching it. At the very least, I'm going to put it in front of Shazam here. We as fans, though, deserved so much better on this show. But you know, it wasn't all bad. There was definitely some good things, like Brandon Thwaites as Dick Grayson in his Nightwing suit. That was great. Tegan Croft, who played Raven, she was great too. There was a lot of good things about it. Hawk and Dove, awesome. The action scenes, cool. But overall, not great execution. Stargirl. Sorry, it's another one I didn't watch. I think at the time there were way too many DC shows coming out, and some of these DC shows weren't even correlating with one another, and I think I was getting so sick and tired of that CW vibe, I couldn't give it the time of day. Superman and Lois, I've heard great things. I've even seen some really interesting clips, but once again, that whole CW thing, I'm just sick and tired of it. I can't get on board with it anymore. Maybe one day when the show comes to a complete end, I will give it a shot. Smallville. Now, I have not watched this show in ages. I have not watched it since it ended, which I can't even remember when it ended at this point. I'm gonna put this show in good. Oh, okay. All right, now we got Gotham. Another show that I could not idly sit by and watch that entire series. Once again, season 1 I thought was okay. Season 2, okay. But I could not continue to watch it after that. So many of these DC shows do this. Why? Why? The best thing about that Gotham show is Ben McKenzie as Commissioner Gordon. I'd even say the guy who played Harvey Bullock, I forgot his name, and the guy who played Alfred. Even David Mazouz as young Bruce is not bad. The performances of those characters are not bad. That's not the problem with the show, though. I'm going to put it in bad, though, because that is where it rightfully belongs. The farthest this show can go on this list here, Shazam. Because even though I am not a fan of almost anything they decide to do in the show, at least they had the balls to try new things that have never been done before. So I can respect that. Swamp Thing, this is a show I wanted to watch, but honestly, when it got canceled with one season, there was no point, so I decided not to go through with it. Krypton, I didn't watch both seasons. I only watched the first one. It's another bad, in my opinion. This I'll put just behind Gotham, I guess. The show's budget was crap. The story, it was supposed to be a prequel to Man of Steel, and then they turned it into its own universe. It was dumb. Didn't like it. Now, Pennyworth. This is another show I have not watched, but by people close to me, the very few people who have watched this show, if they were making this list, apparently they would put it around the good area. So I might have to give it a shot one day. Now, last but not least, I did not need to watch this show to know where it belonged. Seeing the trailer was enough. This show, Gotham Knights, is going in terrible. And it is some of the worst of the worst that we've ever had. I'm gonna slide that just in between Justice League and the Flash movie. And honestly, let's not have to end this video off by needing to divulge into the reasons why that show is so bad. Let's just leave it as is. So there you go, guys. This is the tier list I came up with. I am not surprised that the S tier is leading the front. There are a lot of DC projects that I view to be very close to my heart. Anything in S and A, I could pretty much watch over and over. And I mean, I'm not really surprised that the S tier is Batman dominated when you really look at it, but that's not necessarily my fault. Batman is my favorite character. What am I gonna do about that? But DC and Warner Brothers, they have really prioritized the importance of making Batman content. And very often, I want to say 95 to 98% of the time, their Batman content tends to be really good. I am also not surprised with how many bads there are, because there have been a lot of bad DC projects in the past. Now, I just broke this down and I cut it in half. S, A, and B are a group, and C, D, and F are a group. There's 36 in S to B, and 33 from C to F. That sounds about right for DC. DC has had a very shaky history. So guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed part 1 and you're here enjoying part 2. Let me know in the comments below how your lists differ. What do you view certain DC projects as? But with that being said, everyone, that's all I have for you on this one. And until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.